Hi guys, today we're here to chat all about brand new Physicians Formula for 2019. These products will be launching in January, both in Canada and the United States. I'm not sure about globally, but of course it's going to vary store to store. I know some people have said they've already seen it at Shoppers Drug Mart, and Physicians Formula also has an online e-store that you can purchase from as well, and I believe everything is live there as of now. But lots of new exciting things to talk about: skincare, makeup, eyeshadow palettes, new bronzers, blushes, and I will be showing you a demo of some of the new makeup on my face along with reviewing the products. I reviewed their 2018 launches in 2017 and they had lots of great products, so I will link to that down below. And also I reviewed their healthy foundation, which I love and I'm currently wearing, so let's go ahead and get started. Kicking it off with skincare and the product that I think I'm the most excited about in the skincare range, it is the Perfect Matcha 3-in-1 Melting Cleansing Balm. And I don't think there's many cleansing balms available at the drugstore, so really excited to see this, especially because I've only recently got into cleansing balms. I'm someone that has oily skin and the idea of it always felt a little heavy and greasy, but I got into cleansing oils. The next step was a balm, and if you have not tried it to remove your full face of makeup, it is time, my friend. Run to the drugstore. This is such a great one. It's packed with antioxidants, matcha, and bamboo, so good ingredients in there for your skin. It helps to break down, or not helps to, it does. It breaks down your makeup, does a great job. If you follow me on Instagram, I actually demoed this the night that I went to the launch party for this product, so if you're not following me, it's just at Samantha Jane YT. I do lots of like little product mini reviews and things like that that I don't necessarily have the time or want to get something up faster than I can to YouTube. So really love this. I think it does an incredible job breaking down my makeup. Then you follow up with your regular cleanser to clean your skin. I didn't find this left my skin feeling heavy or greasy or with a film. Really beautiful feeling on the skin. It is so satisfying, as I've said, to break down your makeup, just taking a balm and rubbing it all over your face, so really love that. I should also mention, I probably won't mention this for every product, but I will have it all linked down below, but this balm, and I think all of their skincare at the very least, is hypoallergenic, paraben-free, vegan, cruelty-free, dermatologist tested, and I think most of the products are, but I'll have all the links down below anyway, so you can double check if you have any sensitivities or look out for that kind of stuff. Up next, we have these skin boosters. There are 3 different boosters. These are really nice and light right off the bat. Again, for my oily skin friends, this is not a heavy product. There are 3 different boosters. So you have the time restoring one, we have a hydrating, and then we also have a brightening. They all have this kind of clear gel, water gel formula, I would call it, with little beads in there that actually have some of the properties that actually help your skin. Let me just refer to my list here. So the hydrating one has vitamin E, aloe vera, and hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is a great way to moisturize your skin. Also at this event, they recommended that you use this as your first product after washing your face. You could also, if you're like feeling kind of lazy, I feel like just put a couple drops of this into your daily moisturizer as well. Then for the brightening, you have vitamin C, of course, B3 and licorice, and then for this time restoring, you have vitamin A, red algae, and then vegan collagen. So depending on which one your is kind of appealing, I do feel like they all have a very similar texture. I have only been using these on and off for the past couple weeks, but I do really like them. I've got to say, they have a light cooling feeling. I feel like you could use these day or night, and I like that it is so light, because if you're layering skincare products, especially during the day, you don't want it to feel heavy. So no matter the type of skin you have, I feel like these could work for all skin types. You just kind of pick the one that you like, or I mean, if they're all appealing to you, just use them at different times when you need hydration, when you need a little bit of brightening to the skin. But overall, these have a really beautiful texture, and again, they do have the vegan certification, dermatologist tested, and all that good stuff. So unlike the other 2 products that I just mentioned that are great and very friendly to oily skin, I would stay away from this if you have oily skin, but if you have normal to dry skin or very dry, you're gonna love this. It is the Rosé All Night Ultra Rich Restorative Cream, and it is just that. It is ultra rich, so thick like a butter, but still in a really nice, creamy, hydrating feeling way. If you remember from my 2018 video, they had a Rosé All Day Serum, which I love for all skin types. I think that's a great one, adds a nice glow to the skin, but again, not heavy. This, however, is very thick. I have used this twice. My skin is in kind of a weird place where it's oily still, but also kind of dry. And I have been using heavier creams at night. I'm still not totally sure if I love this for my skin just because it is so thick. So if you have a dry skin and you're looking for something very hydrating and very rich from the drugstore, this could be a great one. And then also I have the coconut milk eye makeup remover. This is a very small little bottle, so I think that this would be perfect for travel. This is going in my travel makeup bag for sure. It says it's good for normal to dry skin. I mean, it's an eye makeup remover. I think it could be good for anybody. It has a nice milky texture. It's not super watery or oily. It does a great job removing my makeup. I do really like this, but I do think I like the cleansing balm better because you can just use it all over your face, but this is a great option for travel. And actually, when I was swatching some things earlier today, I did use this ultra rich restorative balm to remove makeup off of my hands because it does have that very emollient texture because it is really, like I said, this kind of like thick texture. So I did actually use this to remove some makeup because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to be using this all over my face. But if you do ever end up with a cream that is too thick for your face and you don't have anybody to give it to, use it on your neck and your décolletage, I believe it's called, because those areas need extra love, especially to hydrate it and to prevent aging, because this part of your body can start to really reveal your age. So that's what I started doing with creams that I have that are a little bit too heavy. When I can remember it's a little bit excessive, I just rub it down my neck and on my chest. So I raved about the Healthy foundation in the beginning of the year, and I was so impressed with that. Again, as somebody who had oily skin, especially my skin was much oilier back then, I was very hesitant about something that called itself healthy because that makes me think dewy, which makes me think greasy, but I was so pleasantly surprised with how long it wore on my skin, how natural it looked. I'll leave my full review down below. So I was very excited to see that they've launched the Healthy powder. So this is the complement to the liquid. I think this is really beautiful. I used it to set my under eyes today in a little bit of a lighter shade and to set my face in a bit of a deeper shade today. It has an SPF of 16 in there. It has a brightening complex, which is the Chinese Wuzu extract, hyaluronic acid, vitamin A, C, and E, and of course, like I mentioned, the SPF, which is such a great bonus in there. If you don't necessarily want it to set your face, or if you're looking for other uses, it does make a great under eye setting powder because it is so smooth, and I think this would also make an incredible bronzer. I will get to their bronzer in a moment, the butter bronzer, which is amazing, but this formula is so blendable. It has enough pigment in there that you can make it a bronzer, but you're not really going to overdo it because it doesn't have a ton of pigment in there. It's not a powder foundation, it is a powder, but like I said, there is a little bit of color in there, so you could definitely use this as a bronzer. It is so smooth, so gorgeous, and I love that you're getting that bonus SPF 16. So speaking of bronzer, the butter bronzer was something that I finally got to try last year. Their shade range was abysmal, we'll say, for the butter range initially, and everybody was raving about it, but even people who had fair skin were like, this is a stretch. So was so excited to see that they extended the range last year, and I have been wearing the shade Deep for the past year. I really like it. If you're any deeper than me though, I don't think it'll work. But now we have the Sculpting Bronzer, and they do have plans to extend even further, but they just didn't have everything to send me for this video. So I was able to get my hands on the Sculpting Bronzer. They also have new lip butters coming out, but because Canada, I haven't been able to get those yet either. So if you'd like a lip swatch video on those, let me know down below. Unfortunately, I haven't received them yet. But anyways, this bronzer is actually very deep. I didn't realize how deep it actually was until I swatched it next to the Deep bronzer that I have. So it actually has a lot more color in here. It is a buttery, smooth bronzer. It is what I think to be the best, one of the best, if not the best bronzer at the drugstore. Again, it has a beautiful, soft texture, buildable, smooth. It's satiny, but doesn't have a ton of sheen in it, no shimmer. So it looks very, very natural on the skin, blends like a dream. It does have kind of a strong scent, but I find once it's on my face, it does not stick around, which is the most important thing to me. I don't care really what the scent is in the pan, but I don't like it to hang around on my face, and it does not. I mean, I've talked about this bronzer before. It's incredible, and I'm so glad to see there are some more shades. I just have all the segues today. Speaking of butter products and more shades, we have more blushes. I love the butter blushes. Again, I think they're some of the best blushes at the drugstore. A lot of the shades at the drugstore are just not that exciting to me, and the formula formulas aren't that great. I love these. The only thing I don't love about the line is the packaging is a little bit bulky. The sponge product that comes with it is useless and bizarre, but I mean the formula is incredible, and I think that's the most important part. So 2 new shades in here. You have Beachy Peach, and I think both of these add a nice sheen to the point where you could skip a highlighter if you wanted to. I'm wearing their butter highlighter today, which is fabulous, but Beachy Peachy is really nice. It's quite light on my skin, so I would wear it as a blush, but I think it would work even better as kind of like a blush topper or to add a slight flush with a really beautiful sheen to the skin, but there's no glitter in here. And then the other shade, which is going to look better on, or not better, but is going to be better for deeper skin, is the Copper Cabana, and I think that this is so pretty. This one has a little more, not shimmer, but a little stronger satin than the other shade. It's a deeper color, but again adds a lot of sheen to the skin, but it's not chunky, still very smooth, buildable, approachable. I had debated wearing just these blushes with no highlighter, but when I'm filming I do like to wear a highlighter. In the day-to-day, this just makes it so easy to be able to pop this on your cheeks. It's blendable, it's giving you that sheen, it gives you a beautiful natural look and that pop of color. And again, these do have the coconut scent in them as well, but it does not stick around on the cheeks. With all my segueing, I forgot to talk about my eyeshadow. They have released the, I guess I could segue from butter blushes to butter eyeshadows. These are the newest products, so these did not exist before. So they launched 2 different palettes, and the ones that I received at the event don't have the names on them, but I will actually, let me just check. So we have the Tropical Days palette and the Sultry Nights palette. Both of these are a similar formula, or if not the same, I guess maybe in the matte slash satin formulas to the butter bronzers, but then you're getting some more stronger satins and some like true beautiful glittery foiled shades in here as well. So a really nice mix of shades, and it also has like fatty acids in here, so it really has that kind of creamy, beautiful, blendable texture right off the bat. I think that these are great. Overall, the formula throughout the palette I think are really good. They show up on the eyes nice, they have good lasting power. I always wear a primer no matter what, but I feel like I was able to get really beautiful color. But the thing that excites me the most, I think, is just the shade range in here, because the drugstore has definitely stepped up its game when it comes to eyeshadow palettes, but a lot of the time the color combinations, I'm like, have you been to Sephora? Like, these are not the shades that are selling. These are not what the people want, you know? So really excited to see these 2 different palettes. I mean, my dream palette would kind of be a combination of the 2. I think they're really, really pretty. The only shade that was kind of a dud to me was this one, was like really, really hardly packed, but otherwise I thought that the formula was great. And I mean, I would use that kind of shade with my finger anyways. I feel like they're just a really good formula. I'm super impressed. And if you have sensitive, there goes some of my sheets. If you have sensitive eyes, this entire brand was created by a doctor whose wife had incredibly sensitive skin. I can't remember exactly the ailment that she had, but basically that was what he had in mind, and that has continued on. And when I was at the launch party for this event, they have been reformulating some of their products to make them even safer for more sensitive skin types based on technology and advancements in ingredients, which I think is really, really exciting. That's why I love what I do, is because I love getting to know the behind the scenes of this kind of thing, and I love when brands change things based on what the customers are asking for, or what's kind of happening in the industry. So I think that's really exciting. But anyways, overall, if you're wondering if these palettes were any good, I definitely give them the thumbs up. Out of all of the products that I tested out in my last Physicians Formula launch video, one of the only things I didn't like was the mascara, and I'm not particularly picky when it comes to mascara. I have pretty long curled lashes, which I feel very blessed to have, so when a mascara doesn't really work for them, I'm kind of like, come on, you had very little to do. But luckily I really do enjoy this new one that they've launched. It is the Lash Mixologist, and what I think is really interesting about this is not only do they have 2 different brushes, one for volume, one for length, it's actually 2 different formulas. And I love mixing mascaras. I'm not really one for false lashes very often, very rarely. So I like that you get volume and length, because I tend to occasionally reach for 2 mascaras, one that's more volumizing, one that's more lengthening, either to be for, you know, to layer up on my top lashes, or sometimes I'll do volume on the top, something more lengthening on the bottom, because I don't like it to look too dark on my lower lash line. So I gotta say, I was really, really happy with the formula, with the brushes. My only qualm about this is the fact that mostly on the volume side, the length is still a little bit awkward, but I just don't find you get enough room between this part and like the brush to really get into my lashes. I feel like it was a little bit awkward to work with on both sides, but I mean, that might just be me. Let me know if you have tried any of these products, by the way, and what you think of them. But overall, the formula feels really nice, super black, super thick. I felt like the volume volumized, the lengthened, and they did a good job in combination and separately. So I really like that you're getting kind of the double whammy in here. And of course, with Physicians Formula, you're getting vitamins. It's going to help strengthen and condition the lashes. So not only are you getting two different formulas, two different brushes, but you're also getting some health benefits for your lashes. I feel like back in the day, everybody talked about the Physicians Formula shimmer bricks, if that's what they call them, and then this quad. It is the Canyon Classic. It was like one of the very few matte eyeshadows that was available at the drugstore. I actually never tried it because the shades aren't really for me. They're a little bit light, a little bit cool toned, but they have reformulated their quads. I don't know exactly which one is new, which one is old, but I gotta say, overall, the formula is really, really good. From what I can tell, this is not the same formula as the butter eyeshadows, but still creamy, still blendable, full of pigment. I think the shimmers are very similar to the shimmers that are in the butter palette, but I think the mattes are a little bit different, but I'm not 100% sure. Either way, I had not tried Canyon Classic before, and I swatched it and I thought it was beautiful. I really like the gray in there. I don't feel like there's many gray shadows available at the drugstore. Another one that I love is Classic Nude. Overall, I'm really impressed with not only the formula in here, but again, the shade selection. Quads can be so annoying. You're like, why did you choose to put those two shades in there that look exactly the same? Or where's the matte? Or where's the lid shade? And I gotta say, overall, these feel really, really well thought out. So I think Classic Nude is another great one. If you're into more kind of rosy shades, you have Rose Nude here, which is giving you two mattes and two shimmers. You've got two great kind of classic matte shades, a nice rosy lid, and then you could also do that on the inner corner with the brighter shade. Smoky Plum is gorgeous. The kind of, I guess what you would call the smoky plum shade in there has so much purple, so much kind of like shimmeriness in there. It's absolutely gorgeous. It definitely is a little bit of a dusty shade. They're all a little bit dusty and give a little bit of fallout, so just be careful with that. But I don't find that it's the bad kind of dusty. It's still full of pigment, it still sticks to the lid, but it is a little bit messy. And then you also have Smoky Bronze, which I like. It's not actually particularly smoky in my opinion, but you, oh my god, that scared me so much. I don't know why it's a piece of paper dropping. But you are getting two nice matte browns in there, one cooler, one warmer, and then two gorgeous, more kind of shimmery satin shades. So overall, I think the quads are really, really nice. If you didn't feel like getting a whole palette, and these are something that are more interesting to you or something more travel friendly, or you don't reach for a ton of shades, the formula in here is great as well. So I believe they have reformulated and also launched some more shades of their Mineral Wear Loose Powder. It does only come in 7 shades, but it does seem to go quite deep. If you're using it just to set your face, you may be able to get away with having a shade that's not exactly your match. Of course, I would love to see some more shades in there, but this can be used as a powder foundation or on its own. Or to set a foundation. It has an SPF of 16 in there. It doesn't really have many claims on coverage, but it does say it helps to blur imperfections along with smooth the skin, set your makeup, and then also, because it does have some good skincare ingredients in there, to actually soothe the skin and help with any irritations or breakouts, which I thought was really, really interesting. So I actually have not gotten around to try this. It's Christmas. I've been wearing minimal makeup, but let me know if you would like to see more on this. And then lastly, I just want to mention they've updated their eye boosters. So these have been around for a very long time. They have changed the formula, and then I'm not sure exactly what they've done with the other ones, if they still exist, but what they have done is kind of listen to their customer base, and people, they initially came with like a black, a green, and a purple, I think, and a lot of the time people were only reaching for the black. So what they've done is separate them by color. So you have an all brown one and an all black one, but in it you're actually getting a shimmer, a satin, and a matte, which to me kind of makes more sense. I feel like, especially for black, somebody, if they're wearing black every day, it's great to have kind of a variety, but you may not ever reach for the purple or the green. Same with brown. They're just really great neutrals. These are really creamy, really long wearing. They're not the kind of thing that I use very often because I like to do a wing liner and I like a pen style for that, but these are great for the waterline, for smudging out. You can also do your eyeliner that way, but I just feel like I'm already not good at eyeliner and I've managed to do it with a pen, so that's kind of what I stick with. But these do have a really really nice, long-wearing, creamy formula. So that is everything that is new from Physicians Formula. As I mentioned, if you haven't seen it yet, it should be showing up soon, but with the drugstore, it is always dicey. You never really know. You can purchase online now from Shoppers Drug Mart, so keep your eyes out there, along with the Physicians Formula website. And of course, if you're in the United States, you have 100,000 options to pick it up, I'm sure. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know down below what you are the most excited to try. And if you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time.